Hello, welcome to a weekend edition of Questions from Friends. Today the question comes from my illustrious camera lady, my wifey, and she asked, "What do I think will happen after this election day, or more specifically, I suppose, after the presidential results actually come in, whenever that will be. Perhaps on election day, perhaps a week from then, maybe even a month from then, maybe even another Supreme Court decision, though I hope not." Okay, joining me is our beautiful fat kitty who is wearing his own. He's actually the only one in the family who has a costume. I don't know whether he likes it, but no, he's not dressed up as a giant pink baby, but a unicorn. Yay, true to our Bay Area roots. Okay, back to the question. What do I think will actually happen this presidential election cycle? Well, I'm a cynic, so I'm going to talk about the worst case, right? Worst case, Trump wins again. Well, I can tell you what I'm not going to do if Trump wins again, which is move to Canada or Mexico or wherever it is that Americans think that are somehow magically better than the United States, because there's no such place or country on the face of the planet. Okay, the usual examples that I hear being thrown about in a contested election like this usually ran the gamut of Canada or Scandinavia. I mean, it's cold in Canada. Nobody wants to go there, okay? Everyone who's from Canada is trying to escape from Canada. And as to Scandinavia, they don't want you, okay? They're not a heterogeneous country like the United States, okay? So unless you are a refugee or, you are actually Scandinavian, they don't want you, okay? You can't go. So I would stay right here. I'm afraid if Trump wins, he already doesn't listen to any sort of, facts or experts, because he thinks that, having listened to an expert for 5 minutes or reading some Wikipedia article, I can't get out of the costume, but he thinks that just because he knows a little bit about a subject, that makes him a quote-unquote expert in the subject. Now, most of the United States do not agree with him, and therefore I hope that it'll be clear after Election Day that, most people still believe in science. The human advancement of science and technology is not entirely wasted on our president. Now, I think the more likely scenario is that he's going to lose, but the question is by how much, right? If he loses by a little bit, we really might not know the results for, an extended amount of time, right? Anything past the election night is an extended amount of time, and I think that brings a whole lot of, cause for anxiety on the parts of people who actually enjoy this country as a democracy, right? I think our president has mentioned things like that he won't, he's been talking about setting up how this election is full of fraud. So he might certainly say things like that. Now, I do believe in the institutions that this country has, so that I don't really think that he can achieve like a coup via the military or the executive branch alone. I think American institutions are strong enough to withstand any particular person's propensity towards dictatorship, right? But the difference is that means that if he doesn't concede for a week to a month, he's never going to let it go, right? There will always be this big conspiracy theory, bound part of the population that is going to look at 2020 as if this election was stolen from them, right? Because Trump does have, 30% of the country is his base supporters. And those people already are buying into conspiracy theories right now, right? So if he doesn't concede until around a month, I think Mr. Donald Trump, unlike most ex-presidents, he will remain in the public eye in the foreseeable future, right? I don't think that's that bad of a scenario. To be honest, I only dislike Trump as the leader of the free world. I think he's quite entertaining. If he was on a TV show, sure, I'd tune in, right? As long as I know that the kind of BS that he kind of constantly spews out on Twitter won't have any real consequences, right? And as a citizen, he'll go back to the kind of, loco jackass that we all have in our city or in our lives. Like, that's what he used to be, right? A joke in New York City, which is fine. He's a guy that's just said what's on his mind, and usually is ridiculous things because he talks about his own daughter as, she's, oh, all right. I'm gonna let the cat go, or out of the costume at least. So, my point is, I don't think Trump's loss will be as dramatic as people make it out to be. I think the worst case is definitely if he somehow still wins despite losing by 3 to 5 million popular votes. And that's why, just like I said in my first election special, just go out and vote, okay? Like, look, we don't all have to agree on every subject, but I don't think it's too much to ask for every citizen in this country to vote, for somebody who actually believes in facts. All right. Have a good night.